What's up guys, it's Will here back again. Today we're here to review the InArt Joker 4-pack premium version. The hype for these figures have dissipated just a little bit due to the audience reception of Joker 2, but I'm not going to let that ruin my love for the first film. Still, this package has 4 unique figures, but is it worth its $1,700 price tag? Well, today we're going to find out. But before we get started, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell down below so you're notified when content goes live here. Big thank you to 16kit. I purchased this figure directly from them. So if you're looking for InArt figures or third-party figures, please navigate to the link in the description below. That said, let's get into it. Before we actually install the head sculpts on the figure bodies, I wanted to show you how they come packaged. They come in these acrylic cylinders and I absolutely love them. These are so cool. The first time I saw these being used was actually on the InArt Paul Atreides figure, which I just reviewed on my channel recently, so go check that out if you're interested. But this head sculpt looks awesome through the acrylic container, and I love how secure this feels in hand. It feels higher quality than the previous ones InArt used, so very, very nice. Let's take a look at the next one. And here we have Bathroom Joker. You can see it in the acrylic container with a plastic wrapping around each of the head sculpts. All 4 of them have this. I love this, an extra layer of protection. Can't deny how awesome that is. And this head sculpt looks awesome through the acrylic container. And again, it feels so premium. I love the packaging in this, and I can't wait to install this one. Let's look at another one. And I should have mentioned with that Bathroom Joker, that one is only with the 4-pack. So I'm really excited that I got the 4-pack. I think that one's going to be worth it. But this is the Arthur Fleck head sculpt that goes on the Arthur Fleck body. The outfit that he wears the majority of the film, this one also looks fantastic. I see a likeness to Joaquin Phoenix very strongly, a very strong resemblance. I'm not sure if you can see it on camera. There's a slight bit of sweat, I guess, up near the top of the head sculpt. I'm not sure if that's paint application or glue. We're going to look at that throughout this video. I'm a little bit concerned, but we're going to find out what it looks like on the figure and whether I'm overreacting. Only time will tell. Again, here's Arthur Fleck in the acrylic cylinder. Dude. And here we have the clown Arthur Fleck head sculpt. This is one that I've been on record quite often saying I just don't give a shit about. In hand, I feel a little bit more fond of it than I did, looking at it in promo images, but I still feel like it's probably the least interesting of the 4 figures. Nonetheless, it does look pretty good. I see a strong likeness to Joaquin Phoenix, but we're going to install it on the figure body and see how I feel then. All right, guys, so we've gone ahead and installed the head sculpt on the body. I just put him in a simple pose just to give you a basic idea of what he looks like pretty much out of the box, standing straight up and down. The figure looks awesome. The likeness is awesome. The quality of the materials, the outfit, the tailoring, it is all fantastic. There is a little bit of a concern with the lapels on the suit. They do tend to flare out just a little bit. More on that later. But nothing that can't be fixed. I love how this looks. I think it looks just like Joaquin Phoenix. Let's look at our next figure here with the Bathroom Joker. The Bathroom Joker is one that I think a lot of collectors were very excited for. We've been clamoring for a really good Joaquin Phoenix Joker, and when we knew this one was going to be included in the 4-pack, a lot of us got really excited. This one is awesome. He's not standing straight up and down per se. I had to put him in a little bit of a dynamic pose just because without that, he's going to look a little bit awkward. The head sculpt is incredible on the figure body. Very easy to install, and this guy moves and poses very freely and flexibly. I love it. I love this guy on the base, an absolute show stealer with this piece. And now we have Arthur Fleck. I went ahead and put him on his staircase base just to give you a general idea of what the figure looks like when you put him on the base. I think this guy is also awesome. The likeness isn't as good as the previous 2 figures, but it's still a very strong resemblance and overall likeness to Joaquin Phoenix. I love how this looks. And guys, we gotta look at the Clown Joker. Probably everyone's least favorite figure of the bunch, but it's still a decent figure. It's well done, it's well executed by InArt, but I have to say it's just not all that exciting to me. Still, it's a cool part of the 4-pack, and I'm excited to look at it a little bit more. Let's look at all these figures in hand and see how they feel. All right, guys, so this is our first in-hand look with the head sculpt installed. I wanted to start with the Murray Franklin Joker because I know that's the one that most collectors are going to be looking for. This is the most desired figure of the bunch. This is the belle of the ball, the star of the show. and damn, does it deliver. Look at the likeness to Joaquin Phoenix there. This thing is absolutely incredible. I know some collectors originally complained about the hairline on this one. I don't feel in person that it's a problem at all. I feel like it looks just like Joaquin Phoenix, and I really have not even noticed it one bit, not in a negative way at least. I think the application of the paint is really strong. The blue and the skin tones actually look really good. It actually looks like real skin underneath, which I think is a remarkable feat for paint applications. And the blue and the red, they actually look like he painted them on there. It looks really realistic, like a human did it. It doesn't look like a artificial product in any way, shape, or form. The rooted hair is styled very effectively. You can see it has a bunch of product in it. You do want to be careful when moving the figure around, particularly if you're removing the plate on the back to adjust the eyes. That is going to displace the hair, so you do want to be careful with that as you go. But you can, again, adjust the eyes on the back here. You just pull the plate off on the back, adjust the eyes, and then pop it back on, and then you're good to go. The tailoring is actually pretty solid. I would say this is one area where the figure could be slightly improved. These little lapels here, I believe they're called, they want to pop out just a little bit. They don't have magnets or anything to keep them down, so they do want to pop out just a little bit. It could be maybe just how mine was, rolling around in the packaging, but I think overall it looks pretty good. The tailoring is still strong. The pants do want to ride down just a little bit. You just kind of push them up and then you're good to go. He has kind of a natural high water look, which is what he had in the film, so it is accurate to the film in that sense. But if you want a wide angle shot there, you can see the tailoring in all its glory. I think overall it is pretty good, and if you were upset about it in any way, you can tuck it underneath the arm just a little bit to kind of pull and rein that in just a tad. I will say, getting the head sculpt on this body is not at all fun. What you should do, you take these collars, the collars on the edges there, fold them up, and then pull them up vertically and pop the head in. I do not plan on showing you on camera because I am not taking this head sculpt off again. It is such a pain in the ass that I don't want to mess with it again. But again, take these, flip them up, and then pull the collar upwards and then place the head down in the body. Not so bad, but if you don't do it that way, I promise you're going to have a bad time because you're going to keep pushing this side of the collar down, or this one, whichever tends to ride down on your copy of the figure. And the second figure we're going to look at is the Bathroom Joker. The Bathroom Joker is probably the second most popular figure in this bunch. You can only get this with the premium version 4-pack. In the 2-pack, you get Arthur Fleck and the Murray Franklin red suit Joker, but you don't get this bathroom version, which is pretty awesome. You can see the eyes are closed here, so of course you're not going to have adjustable eyes on this one. The paint applications are fantastic. You can see the bits of blood running down the nose and onto the lip, and of course onto the chin. The hairstyling shows a messy, disheveled look for Arthur, which is what he looked like in the film after he killed those 3 guys on the subway. So pretty exciting time. I do got him in a brief pose right now. You can see the pant legs ride to just above the ankles there, which is how it was in the film. The boots are a bit large because he was in, a clown outfit, and this is kind of what he looked like at the time. So you can see he has the yellow jacket on there as well, the under jacket, which is pretty cool. These are actually seamless forearms on each side. All of the interchangeable hands, which I'll show you, are not just hands. They are actually forearms, except for some gloved hands that you can use for the clown version of the one with the green wig, essentially, which I'll show you in a sec. But these are forearms. They are magnetic and they pop on and pop off. You just pull them off and adjust them that way and slide. And then when you want to put new ones on, you slide the sleeve all the way up, pop the arm in, slide it back down, you're good to go. Pretty easy process. But the hairstyling, the overall likeness is awesome. The tailoring on this one's actually very strong. It rides up a little bit because I have him leaning back so far right now, but if you lean him a bit forward, you can pull this down and it's perfectly fine. This is awesome, guys. The head on this one wasn't too bad to install. Just take your time, be careful with it, adjust that collar if you need to. But the likeness on this one, this is going to be one that I think a lot of people go searching for. I'm super excited to put this version in my display. Here's a wide angle shot. Dude, so cool. So next up is the Arthur Fleck figure. This is the character that you see throughout most of the first Joker film. Arthur Fleck is himself for the vast majority of the film, and I think it's only fitting that this figure pack comes with this version of the character because this is his starting point. This is his foundation. This is who he is before he turns into the Joker. And I got to say, the likeness to Joaquin Phoenix here is awesome. This is by far, not even close, the best 1/6 scale representation I've seen of Arthur Fleck in a licensed or an unlicensed capacity. I've seen some customs here and there, but I don't think they really hold a candle to what I've seen from this head sculpt here. Again, you have adjustable eyes in the back. You can just pop the plate off the back. Just be careful with the hair. You don't want to displace the hair too frequently. So when you do adjust the eyes, make sure you just pat the hair back down. Maybe take a dab of water and put your finger on it, and then you'll be good to go. The tailoring on this one is actually pretty great. You have the blue pants and of course sculpted boots there, as you can see, and you have the hoodie on top there that is pretty awesome as well. The fabric actually feels very high quality. It feels very soft. It's like something you would wear in real life if you were 1/6 scale size of yourself, but it's actually pretty cool. And of course you have a real fabric, undercoat here as well, which is also pretty cool. Excuse me if my fashion sense is a little bit limited. I don't know the exact term for this, but someone can correct me in the comments. The shirt collar rides up just a little bit on this one because that's actually how it is. I looked at the promo images and I actually looked at the stills from the film. This is how he looked in the film. So pretty cool that a collar riding up is natural. Arthur Fleck's clothes don't fit. Who knew? This looks pretty cool. Again, the likeness to Joaquin Phoenix is great. The hairstyling is great. You have a bit of hair here that's already pretty much stuck on there. You don't want to move that at all. That's on there in a way and how it should be really. But the quality of the materials, the head sculpt, everything's looking pretty great so far. So let's move on to our last figure. And last, and certainly least, is the Arthur Fleck clown figure from the hospital scene. This does have very soft side floofiness for the clown outfit. You have a hospital coat and some pants as well. Of course, you have those pants that you see from the bathroom scene, and of course, the yellow underjacket there. This one is pretty cool. This is not wired in any way. There are no wires on this coat. It's not like you're going to be doing too dynamic of posing with this one anyway. Not really sure that would be necessary. You have the flower, and of course, you have a hat that magnetically can go on the top of the head here, which I will show you in a sec. But overall, not so bad. I guess it's just, there's not that much exciting about this one. This is just a very small part of the film, and it's not something that really is that indicative of Arthur Fleck's journey. So for me, I do like how this looks. You can see a wide shot there of the whole figure. It's pretty cool. Again, it has seamless forearms, just like all the other ones. You can put hands on here if you would like, but for me, I don't think I'm going to really be caring too much about this one, although it is a good figure. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not a poorly made figure. It's just not super essential. You do have a spot on the back here underneath. I don't know if you can see it, but you can pop the plate off and adjust the eyes if you so wish. Okay, guys, so I wanted to start out by showing the 4 unique bases that come with this figure, starting with the Murray Franklin Show Diorama. I love this base for 2 reasons. Firstly, it has a light up feature. It takes 3 AA batteries, and when you click the power button on the back, it lights up the Joker logo on the front. Beyond that, the entire floor of the gloss black is magnetic. This means you can actually attach all 4 figures to it and display them together. It also has LED light up features in the lights up top, but I can promise you that those lights won't last very long. There's also a curtain you can install if you'd like, which is a very soft fabric with accurate colors to the film. The other diorama base is the staircase base. This is a forced perspective base that is not magnetic, but it does have an installable leg grabber that can keep your figure stable on display. Alternatively, you can also cover that area if you don't feel you need that added stability. I really like this base a lot, but it's a space killer. I feel like it's made of plastic, but it looks high quality and immersive nonetheless. The installation process is pretty easy. I'll link an InArt tutorial video in the description below. So this is the upper level of the Murray Franklin Talk Show display base. It just slides on the gloss black display base and sits there. It sits naturally and flush. It is not magnetic in any way. It has a gloss black finish on the underside, and on the top you can see it has a plastic type of vibe to it with dark blue squares and light blue, and of course some lighter shades of gray as well. Really cool. You can put the chair on this base and put Arthur Fleck sitting on it. So off to a good start with display bases. I like this. So we got a really cool bathroom display base for the bathroom Joker. You can see the Joker nameplate on the front there, and of course the tiling on the bottom. This is so cool. Plastic, just like the other ones, although it does have the magnetic feature underneath. You can slide these, move these around, move the magnets vertically and horizontally to place them in the position you would like to get your Arthur Fleck magnetically positioned on the base, and it holds very securely. It feels plasticky, maybe ABS of some kind, but it is high quality in its overall appearance. And we have another plastic display base here with the Joker nameplate on the front, the magnetic feature on the bottom. All you do is Twist that and boom, there you go. You can adjust the magnets just like on the other version. All of them have this little back piece. You can pop that back on or you can leave it off. Totally up to you. If you want to access the magnets easier, you could leave it off because you're not going to see it underneath anyway. But I love the Joker logo on the front there. I love the details on that. And this actually has a great paint application. You can see the weathering effects on there and of course the different coloring. I think this looks really cool. It looks like an actual floor. Although again, it feels plastic. It looks super cool. Love how this is designed. So another cool base, and you guys know I love my bases. Next up is the chair from the Murray Franklin show. So this is one very hard sculpted piece of, I'm not sure what it is. It does not feel like plastic. It is much firmer and harder than that. I'm not sure what the material use is, but I can tell you it feels like a statue piece. And this cushion itself is actually a separate piece. You can see it's meant to show some, I guess, pressing, some wear and tear, and like a person is actually sitting in it. Very cool. Also the same material, very hard. You could use this as a weapon if you wanted to. All you do is slide that in. It sits right there. It will move around as you can see, but nothing too crazy. It's not magnetic. It's not going to lock in any way. But once you have Arthur sitting in it, it's not going anywhere. On the bottom, you have a little peg here. A rod slides in there. Let me show you that real quick. So this little piece right here slides into the bottom of the chair. And I can tell you one thing I don't love about it, if I can do it on camera, it's not super secure. So if you set it down flush, flat, it's not going to go anywhere, but it comes out very easily. You can see it doesn't really want to stay in there super well. It's not magnetic. It doesn't press and lock in any way. It just feels like it's there. It's just kind of hanging out. So not super secure, but once you put it flat on the ground, it's going to be fine. I just wish it locked in a little bit better than that. It does feel a little bit cheap, but it will do the trick and hold the figure securely, again, once you put it flat. So here we have Arthur Fleck's Everything Must Go sign. You can see a little lever here on the back that you can turn and move around. If you do use this sign, you're probably going to prop it up against something or have him holding the sides and holding it up, either of which would be a good display option. This feels like some sort of cardboard or something. It does feel like a quality material, albeit slightly cheap, but it does look good. It's meant to be cheap. That's kind of how it was in the film. You know, that's Arthur's life and his work. So I like how this looks. So this is Arthur Fleck's bag. I'm not sure of the material that they've used here, but I can tell you it feels very realistic. It feels like an actual bag, just a hell of a lot smaller. It has handles here for Arthur to hold it on either side and a zipper so you can actually unzip it and look at what's inside. It feels like some sort of padding is in there to me. But you know what? I'm not going to unzip it and show it. I'm not going to do that. Sometimes we're not meant to know all the answers in life. Like, what's the meaning of life? Why am I here? What is the purpose for my specific life? We're not really supposed to know those answers. And I feel like this bag is along the same vein of questions. This is a paper bag, a grocery bag. You can open it. There's nothing in it, but you can put things in it. There's also handles. It's pretty cool. This is probably something you're going to have Arthur Fleck holding. He just went grocery shopping. Pretty cool. It's like a paper bag, just smaller. This is Arthur Fleck Clown Joker's hat. You can see, as I mentioned earlier, the magnet is underneath. It pops right to the top of the head sculpt. It has a ton of detail. This is a sculpted piece, probably some sort of ABS. And I think this looks really cool. It feels quality and it pops to the head nicely. This is a sculpted magician bouquet of flowers. It's pretty cool. You can have him holding it in the clown outfit. I doubt you're going to be using it for any of the other figures, but it's pretty cool. You can see a light blue flower, a dark blue purple flower, a yellow one, and a red, and another lighter shade of red. Pretty cool. I like this a lot. Sculpted, plastic through and through, but cool nonetheless. You have the clown mask infamously worn by the protesters and Arthur Fleck at various stages in the film. You have a strap on the back here should you want to put it on him, which I think you'd be absolutely crazy for. These head sculpts are far too good to put them on the actual figure. I would have him holding it. If anything, I think that would be a pretty cool pose. But yeah, plastic. You got these little green bits on the side. Paint applications are good. This is a good accessory. Here is the revolver. This is a really important accessory. And the coolest thing about it, it's die cast. This feels very cold to the touch. I think it's absolutely awesome. This could be something that you pose Arthur with. I think you can do a lot of cool things with it, particularly if you're going to put him on the actual chair and have him holding this gun. That could be a really cool pose. Maybe we'll try that out later. Not sure. We'll see how things go. But it is die cast. Love the paint applications. You can see the lighter brown on the pommel there, and of course the darker brown, and of course it looks like a black here, a really dark shade of black that really looks like a real revolver. Pretty cool. I like this a lot. So we actually have some pill bottles included with these figures. You have 2 pill bottles that have some sort of block in there. I'm not sure what it is. And then 2 empty pill bottles. What's super cool, you're never going to be able to see it on camera super well, but they actually have writing and prescriptions on them. The attention to detail is pretty remarkable. I think most people probably won't care, but that is a lot of dedication to those very intricate details that I think are pretty cool. Got some pill bottles here that I think could look cool next to Arthur Fleck. Man. So this is a very tiny accessory. I'm not entirely sure what it is, to be honest. I think it's some sort of pen. It does have a bunch of inscriptions on it. It has like a ballpoint tip to it. It's a plastic piece. I think it's cool, but I just don't think I'll be using it because I'm not quite sure how to utilize it. So what you're seeing here are 2 extremely tiny cards. One of them is actually a clown card from that hospital scene, and one of them is the card where he explains his condition to people with the laughter and such. So these are 2 cards you can have them holding. I think that's something you could do in your display. I think they're more of base builders, like a stocking stuffer, if you will. But yeah, very small, again, attention to detail, but to me, not something I'm going to be using myself. What you're seeing here are 2 extremely tiny cigarettes. In fact, 1/6 scale, the size of real cigarettes, that's what these are. The attention to detail is pretty cool on these as well. The paint applications are great. They feel like ABS of some kind, possibly. They're very small. You can utilize them with different types of figures, with the Arthur Fleck or maybe even the Murray Franklin Red Suit Joker. Either one would work fine. But yeah, I'm glad they included these. Again, you have a lot of great accessories to do a lot of cool stuff with. You have the wand that he can hold and do funny clown magician stuff with, and you have a nose right there as well. So both of them are plastic pieces. So all of the hands that come with this figure are actually seamless forearm hands, except for these gloved hands for the clown Joker. So with these, you actually get included a couple of, I guess, forearms that you can slide into the figure, and they actually peg into these hands. So you just pop those onto the forearm there, pop off the original forearm, pop these on, and boom, you have gloved hands. So pretty cool there. I might actually try these for that clown Joker. I think they would actually be pretty cool on that figure. But yeah, these are the gloved hands that come with. There's everything you need. Pretty cool. It may feel like you're actually in hell right now and the hands of hell are reaching from the depths to grab you and pull you down. I promise you're not. What you're seeing are a ton of seamless forearms. And what these are just arms that you pop onto the body. They have a magnet on each one, and all you got to do is pull the original arm that's on the body off, and boom, you have another one. One of my magnets already came unglued and came out. I got to re-glue that magnet back in, so not thrilled about that. But thus far, all the other ones are still intact. You can see the magnet right in there, and it magnetizes to the magnet on the body, and it holds pretty well. All the hands that you would possibly want are here. I'm not sure why they went seamless forearms for all of these, because for most of the figures, they have jackets or coats or suits, and they could easily be concealed with regular wrist pegs. So I'm not entirely sure why they decided to go this route, but they have. Maybe they thought you were going to pull down the sleeves at some point and you wanted to display them that way. I don't think most collectors are going to do that. So this is a little bit of a curious decision. For the bathroom Joker, I understand why you would do it this way, because if you want to roll the sleeves up, that might be helpful, but I'm not entirely sure why they did this. Still, the paint applications are really lifelike and great, and as long as the magnets hold in, you're perfectly fine. But if your magnet comes unglued, be prepared to glue that thing back in with the right side. This is Arthur's notebook. There's actually a lot of cool writings and pictures and drawings in there, which I find pretty awesome. I love when companies do this, when they take the time to put the actual writings from the film in there and study the source material. It's pretty awesome. There is a lot here to really look at. This is something you could spend a little bit of time going through. Again, you could have Arthur Fleck holding this book or writing something. There's definitely a lot of cool things that you can do there. So really like how this turned out. A lot of attention to detail. Pretty cool. This InArt Joker 4-pack is exceptional. But although I want to praise these figures a lot, there are a few areas I need to criticize. The first is a few QC issues I experienced. InArt is often criticized for QC issues, as many believe their figures experience this more often than, say, Hot Toys figures do. I don't find that to be entirely true myself, but I can say I experienced a few this time. The forearms are all magnetic, and one of the magnets came unglued almost immediately upon the first installation. I'm really not sure why InArt decided to go almost entirely with seamless forearms this time instead of interchangeable hands. Almost all of the figures have long sleeve shirts and/or coats on, so wrist pegs would be concealed. Regardless, magnets falling out and having to re-glue them is not an ideal start to a premium unboxing experience. Installing the forearms is also a bit more of a hassle than standard wrist pegs are. The other QC issue I experience is what I'm interpreting as glue on the hairline of the Arthur Fleck head sculpt. I have not seen this on other copies of the figure. I guess you can interpret it as sweat, but to me it looks more like glue. I am currently working with InArt and 1/6 kit on a replacement. On the most important figure of this package, the red suit Joker, it has pretty shit lapels. There's no magnet or wires installed, so I decided to use double-sided Scotch tape to push down the lapels. I'm worried about potential long-term staining from this strategy, so I wouldn't advise it. But here you can see how the original lapels looked all flared out, and now you can see how they look when taped down, much improved. I think this was a major oversight in the design process. Aside from that, I have so many positive feelings about this package. The unboxing experience is awesome. It's akin to unboxing a premium statue because you have multiple diorama bases, several figures and head sculpts, and several layers of packaging. The unboxing experience feels more premium than most Hot Toys because of how the packaging is designed and what's included. It's an experience every collector should have at least once. I also love the diorama bases. The biggest concern collectors will have is the space that you must dedicate to them. These bases are large, particularly the Murray Franklin stage one. I feel like I need to find a way to make it work in my personal display because they're just too cool to not display. The stair base is a cool forced perspective style of base, and it really does look the part, as I mentioned. The other bases are pretty basic, but they are perfect for collectors tight on space. The magnets hold the figures much better this time than previous bases do. The figures themselves are fantastic. The likenesses are all very strong. I feel the bathroom Joker, unsurprisingly, is probably the strongest likeness. The paint applications and resemblance to Arthur Fleck is quite remarkable and rivals some of the best 1/6 head sculpts I've ever seen in hand. I'd argue that it's going to be very difficult for Hot Toys Artisan version to top InArt's Red Suit Joker version. The tailoring, the likeness, all of it feels and looks very high-end. The likeness to Joaquin Phoenix is pretty remarkable. I see it at every angle, and the paint applications allow the likeness to shine through. I also think the quality of the hairstyling feels high-end. Just be careful when adjusting the eyes because each time you remove the back plate, you're going to displace the hairstyling. The Arthur Fleck is pretty close, but the likeness isn't entirely perfect. I'd say it's like an 8.5 out of 10. I certainly see Joaquin Phoenix in there, but I see it from some angles more than others. I think the tailoring is awesome though, and the detail in all of the outfits is certainly present. But the Arthur Fleck likeness is pretty good rather than pretty great. I think it's the best 1/6 Joaquin on the market, but it's not perfect. The Clown Joker is cool, but I don't feel there's too much to discuss with it. It's a cool figure if you find the right pose, but I don't feel it's all that exciting either way. I like that the top of the head is magnetic, so accessing the movable eyes is easier, and the likeness is good, but it's not going to have the presence the other three figures do. It has gloved hands and seamless non-gloved hands, which is cool, but yeah, that's about it. It's fine. To sum up my thoughts on the InArt Joker Premium Edition, it's very good. This is certainly one of the highest quality offerings ever produced in a licensed capacity from a 1/6 scale figure manufacturer. The packaging, the head sculpts, the tailoring, the cool dioramas, there's a lot to like here. Yes, it was expensive for $1,700, but InArt packed quite a bit of value into this offering to make it worthwhile. Still, the question is it worth it? I say yes if you love the first Joker film. Remove Joker 2 from your mind and focus on Joker 1 because that's what this package is from. I love that first film. It's one of my favorite comic book films, so I'm thrilled to have these figures in my collection. I think the value is there considering just how good these figures and dioramas are. All that to say, I'm going to give the InArt Joker Premium Edition a 9 out of 10. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to click the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you're notified anytime something cool goes live here. I'll see you in the next video.